What's good, my people? As you can see in the background, I'm in Zanzibar, Tanzania, Africa. No, that's where my mind is. I'm at home. You know, my heart is hurting right now. Just want to keep it 1,000. I want to keep it a buck, as they would say. I need to talk to my people here in Monroe. As a community leader and someone that is very familiar of the situation that's going on here in our city, it breaks my heart to see so many people that I care about feeling so much pain right now. I'm not on here to bash anybody or disrespect anybody. What I'm calling for is a ceasefire. It's a time for healing. It's a time for peace. You know, being the founder of I See Gray with Class, our whole mission, shout out to my brother Stephen P. Stack, shout out to my sister Chantel Steffens, shout out to my brother Bronco McCart, shout out to all those that was a part and has been a part of I See Gray with Class from the beginning, all those who've been on our show, all the agencies and everybody that made our show a success, and absolutely to those that viewed the show and supported us. Shout out to JoJo, shout out to Cassie, shout out to Aaliyah, shout out to all y'all. I really appreciate the support you've given us over the 8 years. So it brings me to this. Our city is becoming divided. I went after work, I went to the community center to see some beautiful, beautiful young kids do videos on Black History Month. Shout out to Devin and his crew. Shout out to the crew that we're working together, Anthony Hoskins and everybody over there that's making a difference. And a good friend of mine came in there and she was visibly upset and hurt, she told me. And it broke my heart. I guess there was a meeting today and the same things are happening. There's being names thrown around and people being hurt in these meetings. It's unfortunate because we're better than that. And I know the parties on all sides. And I love every one of them. They're good people. You're all good people. So I don't know what's going on right now, but we need to stop it. It needs to stop immediately. It needs to stop on social media. It just needs to stop. It's counterproductive. This is the reason why I sat back and I was hoping that things would die down, slow down, but it seems like it's continued to escalate. And it's breaking my heart because I love the city. I love the people. It's time for us to step up as adults and make an example for the youth, for the kids, for the beautiful kids I see today that look for us for leadership. They don't need this. We don't need this. At the end of the day, those that are willing to help, those are willing to come together. At the end of the day, it's about the people. It's not about one individual or two individuals or three, myself or anybody else. This is about the collective group. And there are so many organizations doing great things, so many across the board. Everybody doesn't get it right, and it's okay. But as adults, what we can do is sit down and talk about what's the solutions instead of continue to gaslight a situation that's already out of control. This is like a fire in California or something. It's out of control, and there's no way of stopping it until we stop it, until we stop gaslighting whatever the situation is and making crazy disrespectful comments on social media and talking behind people's backs and just downgrading people. That's 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 not Christ-like. We have to do better. So I'm asking and I'm begging and I'm pleading for our city to stand up and be united and come together to fix whatever problems there is. Let's put aside all the personal beef. I'm not saying everybody has to be best friends. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, as adults and as grown folk, we need to set the example for the generation behind us to show that we can work together in solving any issue that's set before us. We can do that. We can do that. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. Agencies have guidelines and restrictions and all those different things that they have to abide by in order to fulfill whatever they have to do, right? It's not up to us to tell an agency what to do. We can hold them accountable, that's fine. But we can't demand another agency to do anything. It doesn't work that way. But with that being said, let's step back. Let's take a time out. Let's sit down. Let's come to the table. And we've been doing a lot of this work already. And let's come up with solutions. It's out of control right now. It's just simply out of control. And it's hurting my heart. I see it in my friends' faces. I see the tears. I see the pain in their hearts because they don't want to choose one side or the other. They don't want to be in the middle of what's going on. And it's becoming toxic. I'm not on here to get likes or claps or comments or anything like that. You can come for me. I'm good. I have big shoulders. Listen, people have talked about me ever since I can remember. It doesn't bother me. As long as my beautiful children are proud of their dad, my mother, my grandmother, my family, what you say does not affect me one iota. But I love you anyway, and there's nothing you can do about it. So with that being said, it's time for us today on Black history. You know, I was thinking of Dr. Martin Luther King and how his whole movement was about nonviolence. And he died by a bullet in 1968. And still to this day, as I'm thinking about Tyre Nichols and how he was murdered, how violence has continued to escalate, we need in our classrooms, in our society, we need de-escalation classes. We need to learn how to treat each other better. We need to learn how to de-escalate a situation. We need to learn how to de-escalate. We also need to learn how to be proactive instead of reactive. See, it's getting to the point where we're starting to hate each other again. It's one thing that the pandemic should have taught us all, is that God was warning us. He made the world take a time out. The world took a time out. And during that time, we discovered something about ourselves. One, we didn't like being bottled up. Two, we realized how much relationships mean in the physical contact of another human being and people. And three, that we don't want to ever go back there again. But it should have taught us another lesson, that life is fragile. So many people died during the pandemic. And guess what? Someone died today. Someone didn't wake up today. We take life for granted. You know, there's one thing I've learned since I've been doing work in Tanzania, Africa, part of a nonprofit organization. If you haven't heard of, again, shout out to those who purchased our book, Lloyd Goes to Africa. Thank you. But we take a lot of things for granted here. You're talking about homelessness. Really? We ain't seen nothing here like over there or other parts of the world. We have to do better. We can do better. There's a saying, if you know better, you do better. And we should know better. I'm going to share a story with you that my family, some of my family members know, but I haven't shared it to the world. It was a couple of years ago. And I was at my grandmother's funeral in Chicago, Illinois. And you'll see how this ties into everything that's going on right now and how I see things. So I'm at the funeral, my grandmother's funeral, God rest her soul. And my grandfather, Walter Finley, one of my favorite people in the world, says, son, I'm ready to go. You know, as you can, guess that we was at a wake and, he was tired of seeing his wife in the casket. He was just ready. He was just tired. I said, all right, let's go. So I went around, told my aunts, granddad's ready to go. I'll take him home. And one of my aunts said, well, just take him to my house. The kids are there. And we don't want him alone. Just take him to my house. I was like, all right, cool. So me and my grandfather talking, chopping it up, and he was telling me how proud he was of me, and we're just laughing and just having a great old time. We talking about memories and just a lot of great stuff. God, I miss him. So I get him in the car and started to drive. So I'm driving in Chicago, and before I hit the highway, he said, where we going? I said, I'm taking him, to Auntie's house. He was like, all right. So we got to talking again, and we're just having a good old time. We're just having a great old time. So we get on the highway, and Chicago has 4 lanes, 5, whatever. It's a lot of lanes when you're driving in Chi-Town. Going about 70 on the highway. Got the music on, we, talking, and everything is good. So I thought. So as we're driving on the highway, we're about, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 exits from my auntie's house. And I'm driving. I pass his exit to his house. And he looks at me and says, where are we going? I said, we're going to Auntie's house. And he says, you're trying to kidnap me. So I'm looking like, no, granddad, I'm trying to take you to Auntie's house. He said, excuse my language. No, motherfucker, you trying to kidnap me. So now my grandfather never talked to me like that. So now I'm getting a little concerned. And I said, granddad, I'm not your grandfather. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're trying to kidnap me and I got to get out this car right now. This is a true story. So he reaches over as I'm driving on the highway to get out the car. So I'm reaching over trying to keep him in the car as I'm driving on the highway. My grandfather's not a small guy. He's a very strong guy. So he started to punch me to try to let me go. So I'm driving, trying to get to my aunt's house. So he grabs the lighter where the phone is plugged in and takes it out and starts stabbing me with it. And I'm trying to hold him off as I'm driving. Next thing you know, he says, since you're going to kidnap me, I'm going to kill the both of us. Now, mind you, this is my grandfather who loves me like no other. And I love him. So he started to grab the steering wheel and try to run me into a semi on our left-hand side. Mind you, I'm in Chicago, Illinois, driving 70 miles an hour. I have a man, my grandfather, in the car who doesn't recognize me. About 5 minutes prior, he knew exactly who I was, and we were having a great time. So thank God I came up to my aunt's exit and I'm holding him off. God was with me that day. I don't know how in the world we got through. I almost died at the hands of my own grandfather. So I get off of the ramp. And this is a true fact. My aunt has like 3 or 4 lights before you get to her house. I ran through every red light to get to her house. I pull up at my aunt's house and I jump out of the car and I tell my cousins, he's trying to kill me. And my cousins come out, they will verify the story. They come out, they grab my uncle, my grandfather, grab my grandfather. And he said, he tried to kidnap me. He just going off. And I sit down on the porch and I just bawled, wept like I never have before. That was the first time that I upfront experienced dementia and what the mind can do. So when we talk about mental health, I know what that's like. I've seen it up close. I almost died at the hands of my loving grandfather. So when someone tells me, what do I know about the mental health field? I might not know all the technical stuff, but I know what it looks like because I've seen it up close. Yes, there is a problem with mental health around this country. We're all trying to figure this thing out. It's not an easy fix. We have to get people in Congress and in the Senate that's going to fight on our behalf to put money towards mental health. I call it wellness. So what's happening across the country, unfortunately, is happening in our own city. And we're trying to fix it, or we're trying to do the best we can to make sure that people get the help that they need. This is personal for me. This is the reason why I'm part of this coalition of amazing people, people that are trying to do the work, people that love this city, people that love the people. Shout out to Deb Steelgrave. I love you. Shout out to Stephanie Kasperzak. I love you. Shout out to Lisa Graham / Jennings. I love you. Shout out to my brother Chad. I love you. Shout out to Pastor Boone. I love you. Shout out to Kim, Stephen. Shout out to everybody that's involved. I absolutely love you. God is love. God is love. What's going on right now is not love. We have to call a timeout. We have to start, we have to stop um, gaslighting the situation. We have to say, if something is wrong, that is wrong. We cannot hide and say that and this is okay because it's not. And if you come for me, if you come for me, come at your own risk. I'm not here to hurt or harm anybody. My whole life has been about helping other people and getting paid for it. I don't get paid for the stuff that I do. I work at Ford Motor Company. It'll be my 29th year. Got one more year before I retire. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I get off work and I come home and I go help out wherever I can at the community center and all the other stuff that I do out here. Being president of a nonprofit organization, doing all the things that I do. People ask, what is your job? What is your real job? They didn't think I had a real job. I love my city. The mayor is a damn good guy. I know him personally. I know the things he's done without getting props for it or letting people know what he's done. I know, I was there. I know what Stephanie Kasperzak has done. Regardless of what you may think about her, she has a golden heart and cares about the people. She's my business partner. I trust her with my life. Lisa Jennings is a brilliant person. Brilliant. With a big heart. My brother Stefan works really hard at bringing people together. My sister Chantel has a heart as gold and wants nothing but the best for everybody. Jojo, Marianne, and all you, Cassie. These are my people. I love you guys. It's time. Stop putting horrible comments. Stop being a part of the problem. Let's come together and work together. I'm sure people are going to say things about me. People have lied on me. People said things, horrible things about me that I know that they said, but I still give them a hug and love them because God is love. I say God bless in one love for one reason. When I always end with that. First of all, when I say God first and then bless second, I want God to bless you. God bless. May God bless you. Whatever that blessing is, you may be going through something and you may need the blessings. God bless. One love. Because there's one love above all, and that's the love of God. He loves you even when you don't love yourself. God bless in one love. Don't forget that love. So whenever I get irritated, upset, or defeated, I know that one love that loves me more than I love myself. It's God. Whatever God that is for you. I didn't get on this call again, to start any trouble. I'm not here. I don't want no problems. I want solutions. I want to see my friends stop hurting. So I recommend, and I'm asking, that the community come together, leaders sit down, and they come to a common solution. I said, does it really matter where the help is coming from as long as the people are getting help? Does it? It doesn't. It really doesn't matter where the help is coming from, as long as the people are getting help. Because at the end of the day, it's about the people again. It's not about me. It's not about Pastor Boone. It's not about Lisa. It's not about Stephanie. It's not about everybody, these leaders. It's about the people. And people are getting help. My dear friends who are hurting, keep your head up. Keep doing the work. You're going to have haters. You're going to have people stab you in the back. You're going to have people make up stuff about you. Trust me, I've been through it. Done it. It's going to happen. To you children, I apologize to you because you deserve better. You deserve adults to make sure that the future is bright and ready for you to take over. And we're not doing a good job right now. We're not doing a good job right now. Look at the world. Look at the politics. Look at the hatred on social media. And these are coming from adults who should know better. You know, my brother Bronco is one of the kindest people I know. I love him like he's my own brother. We talk all the time. We disagree. Trust me, we disagree more than you know. But at the end of the day, we hang up. Before we hang up, we always tell each other we love you. We love each other. I love you, bro. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him that I wouldn't do for my own brothers, my own siblings. That is my brother. If he called me, I don't care what time it is, I am there. It's not a white or black thing. It's a humanity thing. Because this is our shell. What you see here is a shell. Nobody, I'm gonna make sure you understand, you hear what I'm saying. Nobody has control over who and what parent they are born to. You could have been easily born in the Middle East, born in China, born anywhere. No one has that control. So doesn't it sound silly to hate someone strictly because of the color of their skin, because of this shell? No one has control over this. Nobody. So to hate someone mainly simply because they are different ethnicity than you is silly. Because guess what? When you die, that shell evaporates and becomes a skeleton. Then that skeleton turns to dust. It doesn't make a difference. It's what's on the inside. That's what Icy Gray was born out of. Loving someone from the inside out. Yeah. There's nothing else to say. You have to do better. Very, very disappointed. Very hurt because I reached out to all parties involved. Reached out. Hey, just gotta stop. And those that are there adding to it, stop. Just stop it. Just stop. It's getting old. It's corny. If you're not doing anything to make it better, what's the use? What's the end game? What is really the end game? Right? We're either making this place a better place for all of us, or what are we doing? What are we doing? We prove that we're tough, or We can insult somebody. We can talk about people's children and all this other stuff. What is that? What is that? It's a shame. That's what it is. We have to do better. So again, I'm asking all those involved, time out. Let's knock it off. Our city is already in pain. It's time to heal. It's time to come together. It's time to stop name calling, because the same thing that you want to cure, you're creating. You're messing with people's mental health. People are being hurt. The same thing you want to get rid of is being caused. It's the trauma. It's the anxiety. It's not helping. It's only dividing. I'm asking to come together. Sit down and come together. Again, if you come for me, come at your own risk. I'm not going to entertain foolishness. I'm just not. It's a waste of time and it's counterproductive. Counterproductive. Again, our children are looking for us to be the leaders that they want to see. Let's be that. Let's be the change that we want to see. Let's be the change. Because if we're not, we're just in the way. We're stopping progress ourselves. That's what we're doing. So for those that don't know, that's watching this, we have a lot of issues that's happening in our city of Monroe. There's a big division. There's a lot of things that's going on. And I was just trying to fall back to hopefully let this thing untangle. But I got to a point where I saw a friend today and it triggered something. And I saw the kids and I said, you know what? I got to cause a ceasefire. As being someone that's in the community, that's doing the work, I just have to say stop. And I'm asking my friends, I'm asking all my friends, all my associates, everybody that I work with, to not entertain foolishness, to not entertain it. If no one's coming with solutions, don't even bother with it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your health. It's not worth anything. It's not worth it. We're a solution-based city. Let's have solutions. You with me? Because I'm ready. I'm ready. Been ready. I'm willing to work with anybody that's willing to move the city forward. Anybody. Let's come to the table. If we can't come to the resolution, then let's figure it another way. Let's figure how close we can get. Let's figure out something. But this back and forth and dividing, name calling, and this and that and the third, it's not solving anything. So I'm just going to leave you guys with that. You know, Black history is American history. And what's happening in this country and what continues to happen in this country of unarmed African Americans being shot and killed without due process needs to stop as well. It just needs to stop. It's going beyond training. Cops get trained all the time. How do you train a heart? How do you train a heart? There's right and there's wrong. regardless of what anybody does, we have a justice system, and no one should play judge and jury. That's what the court systems are for. Everybody has a right to due process. Everybody. That's the reason why our soldiers fought for this country, is for the rights of all Americans. Not just a selected few. That's just what it is. So I want to sign off. And again, I'm asking for peace. I'm asking for healing. I'm asking for unity. I'm asking to stop the gaslighting. I'm asking to not be a part of anything that's negative. Let's leave that negative energy somewhere else. It's contagious. It's kind of like the COVID virus. It's contagious. It can cause a lot of harm. So let's cut it off. And by doing that, let's just stop doing what we're doing. You know who you are. You know who you are. Just stop it. I love you. I love you. I really do. We should all have love for each other. We should love thy neighbor. God is love. Remember that. God is love. God is love. So to my friends that are hurting, I'm praying for you. I pray you find peace. I tell you to keep your head up. Be strong. Walk in your greatness because you are great. If you're doing the work, continue to do the work. If people talk about you, just continue to do the work. It doesn't matter. Let them talk. Do the work. And watch how the universe pays you. Watch how God rain blessings down on you. Don't feed into the negativity. Don't feed into rumors, and don't be part of rumors. Stop spreading things that you really don't know. And you should stay out of other people's business anyway. Mind your own. Mind your own. I'm sure you got more other stuff to do than to worry about somebody else's. Or maybe you don't. I know I'm too busy. That's for damn sure. So I just want to say peace. Go get my book, A Shameless Plug. Lloyd Goes to Africa. So it's an amazing book. It's for all people, all ages, all races. You see, I got to say this before I go. I know some of my white brothers and sisters don't want to celebrate Black history because they feel they're not Black, so they don't want to celebrate it. I want to say that, again, that Black history is American history. We're part of the fabric of this nation. We're your brothers and sisters too. We're all in this together. The same God that created you created me. I don't think you heard me. The same God that created you created me. He's called the Father for a reason. Right? Africa is part of this world. God created all things. There's more than just the United States. It's a beautiful world out there in Africa. The continent of Africa is a beautiful place. Those are our brothers and sisters. So we're doing the best we can with our organization to help those that need it, just like we're doing here. I will continue to do the work here as well. Shout out to my business partner, Stephanie Kasperzak. I know a lot of you have your ideas or thoughts who she is, but I know her. She's good people. No one is perfect. We all fall short of God's glory. All of us. We all fall short. Doesn't give you the right to talk about people. It doesn't give you the right to disrespect people. And you may not like the work that they're doing, and that's fine. But you don't have to try to ruin their character or their good name. That's not right. It's not right. So let's stop all that. Let's stop all the hate. Let's stop all the vitriol. All right. I said what I had to say. Said what I had to say. I hope that we can come together. I will continue to say that. Let's continue to come together. Let's work. And if you want to argue and fight with me, you're just wasting your time, because I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to entertain it. It does you no good. It does me no good. And it doesn't move what we're trying to do move forward. It does nothing to move what we're trying to do forward. It just doesn't. Progress is about moving forward. Regression is about moving backwards. And I'm not trying to regress. I'm not trying to go backwards. It's not the plan. Everybody can do something. I may not can do what you can do. You can't do what I can do. I can't do what another person can do, and vice versa. But everybody can do something to make this world a better place. Use your superpower for good and not evil. Because we all got a special gift. All of us, yes, even you, have a special gift. We all have special powers. Utilize that power for the betterment of this country. Use that superpower for the good of humanity. For the good of humanity. Uplift your brothers and sisters. Uplift people. Don't tear them down. Uplift them. Encourage them. Encourage them. You know, a part of encouraging someone is to also tell them when they're wrong. That's encouragement as well. Because you want them to be better. That's what real friends do. They just don't go along just to get along. They don't do that. Real friends don't just do that. They just don't do that. I've had many of fights with my brothers and sisters. Hell, right now, I haven't talked to one of my brothers who I miss very dearly since New Year's. And I miss you, bro. You know who I'm talking about, King. We're going to get together. We're going to chop it up. I love you all, man. And that's from the bottom of my deep souls of my heart, man. If you know me, you know that. I'm not just talking. I mean that. I mean that. Let's go. Let's cut it out. I'm done with it. I'm not going to say anymore. I'm just going to do the work. And I'm going to work with people that's willing to work with me. And we can all do something. Shout out to my homeboy, Gary Collette, too. I love you and Dawn and your beautiful family. I love Tino and Maya. I love you guys. My Never Say Never family. Geese, Anthony, Mike, TJ, Nitty, Nice, Rip, Coretta, the whole clique, Todd, the fam. Shout out to my son. You're an example, son, of what proud of you, man. Proud to be your dad. I'm proud of you, Vanessa. Proud to be your dad. My whole life is just to make you guys proud. I love you with everything I am. Everything. All right, let me get out of here. Again, peace. Let's come together. Let's shut down this ignorance. Shut it down. Time out. Ceasefire. One love. One love. There's only one. Peace.